Today on Locked On Rockies, the Colorado kid gets the start.
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 4th day of April 2022. I am your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, Rockies fan extraordinaire Paul Holden, bringing you your Rockies coverage 5 days a week on this wonderful podcast network, the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. We are streaming live on YouTube, and we are asking for your subscription over there on the YouTube. That's when you can know when the show goes live, just like Devin does in the live chat. He's hanging out here, always chatting it up and hanging out with us here in the live chat. Today's episode of Locked On Rockies is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. We also talked about a ton of BetOnline's future bets for the Rockies. So if you are thinking about betting on the Rockies ahead of the season, which is Friday, I mean, I know the season's already here, but Friday, real Rockies baseball, a new era of Rockies baseball begins. And how does it start? The Colorado kid, Kyle Freeland, is on the bump. I'm excited by this move. I was pretty surprised to hear that this was the plan. I kind of figured that it would just be your usual starters. I don't necessarily know how they came to this decision. I've been looking around and kind of poking around to try to find the more in-depth look at why he was chosen, and nothing too out of the ordinary yet. But I have a feeling something is different. Something not different. I have a feeling there is a reason why they gave Kyle Freeland the start. And it's not necessarily just performance. It's not necessarily just in terms of, I think, what their original plan was. I think it has to deal with the fact that this team hasn't come to an agreement with Kyle yet on a certain contract. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but first, let's head over to MLB.com. Freeland to make opening day start for Rocks. Here, Thomas Harding is writing. Left-hander Kyle Freeland will get back to where he started, against whom he started, and the Rockies hope how he started. Freeland will start the 2022 season opener against the Dodgers at Coors Field on Friday, 2 o'clock Mountain Time. In his final Cactus League tune-up on Friday night, Freeland held the Mariners to 1 unearned run and 3 hits with 2 strikeouts and no walks in 5 1/3 innings of a 2-1 Rockies victory. I was pretty shocked. I didn't expect to get that news when Buddy told me, but I'm happy, Freeland said. That will be my second opening day start. I'm excited to take it on and get the season rolling. In 2017, Freeland, a Denver native who prepped at Thomas Jefferson High School, held the Dodgers to 1 run and 4 hits and struck out 6 in 6 innings of a 2-1 victory. It was not only the home opener, but his major league debut. If Freeland and the Rockies have their way, the only difference between 17 and Friday will be the jersey number. Freeland, who turns 29 on May 14th, wore 31 then before switching to his preferred 21 the next season. Again, we are reading from Thomas Harding. Freeland to make second opening day start for the Rocks on MLB.com. I believe I kept that jersey, Freeland said. I had always been 21 and had the ability to switch back once we didn't re-sign Jonathan Lucroy. I asked if I could snag it. Freeland has 1 season opener on his resume. I always say resume when I'm reading it. Resume. A 6-3 win at Miami on May 28, 2019, when he gave up just 2 hits and struck out 5 in 7 frames. I love the fact that Kyle is taking the ball for his hometown team, Black said. It's awesome. He pitched great tonight. He's ready. Of course, that was Black speaking at the end of the Friday game. And I worked the Mariners game on Friday. So I was watching the game on Friday, and I was mostly listening because of, I was working. And boy, I got to tell you, that's a Kyle Freeland start. If that's the version we get most of the time from Kyle Freeland this season, boy, are we in for something special. That's his potential. And mind you, the Mariners on Friday when they played, that was mostly a major league lineup as well. I know the Mariners, they moved a couple of pieces around, but both of them did late in the game. I think the Rockies kept starters in longer than the Mariners did, but that's a start. That's what the Rockies need Kyle Freeland to be this year. Kyle Freeland has. I'm a big Kyle Freeland fan. I'm a Kyle Freeland guy, as the Twitter stuff goes, and. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Kyle Freeland has been perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say, honestly, Kyle Freeland's been great. I think Kyle Freeland has been good. I think Kyle Freeland still has the potential to get better. I think he could enter into a couple of year stretch where this is his best pitching as he's getting to that age of what a lot of people say prime in terms of athletes. He's going into his 6th year of service. He's 29 years old. So this should still be a situation where Freeland could still surprise people in terms of improving performance and stepping forward. Let's take a quick look at Baseball Reference here. Kyle Freeland, some stats. Let's just go quickly over some of the stuff. 2017, Kyle Freeland 11 wins, 11 losses, 4.10 ERA over 156 innings pitched, a whip of 1.487, strikeouts per 9, 6.2, walks per 9 at 3.6. What I love about Kyle Freeland's career stats is the walks have dropped every single year from 17 to 18, 3.6 to 3.1. There is the increase in 2019, but that was Kyle Freeland's the real tough year for Kyle Freeland there in 2019. But only not a huge jump back in terms of walks. It's going from 3.1 to 3.4, but decreasing in 2020 to 2.9, decreasing again over 2021 to 2.8. Strikeouts kind of fluctuating a little bit, but if he can sit where he was last year and his strikeouts per 9 sitting at 7.8 right now in 2021, I think that Kyle Freeland could be even more special. If he can average them 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, that is something that would be a really, really great addition for Kyle Freeland. And we know he can do that. It's just a matter of, will he do that? Is the consistency going to be there? We have seen greatness out of Kyle Freeland, but we've also seen 2019. We've seen 17-7 in 2018. And I pitcher win losses again. We're just going basics here. But I mean, that is kind of the story of Kyle Freeland's career. 4th in Cy Young voting, 3-11 the next year. Pandemic shortened season, sees the improvement in his game and gets back to what he's able to do. Cuts down on the walks, cuts down on the hits. Not many strikeouts in 2020, but not as many games either. And then 2021, a fine year. And Kyle Freeland kept the Rockies in a lot of games and was effective. But will we see can Kyle Freeland get back to 17-7, 2018 Kyle Freeland version? I think so. I think this is the opportunity. This is the time for Kyle Freeland really to shine. With the loss of John Gray, Kyle Freeland's identity in this rotation is going to grow. And I hope that identity grows as something that the Rockies can count on as someone who's getting back to when they finished 4th in Cy Young voting. If Kyle Freeland can pitch like he did on Friday, let's get that line one more time here for his Friday line. Freeland held the Mariners to one unearned run and 3 hits with 2 strikeouts and no walks in 5 1/3. Obviously, in the regular season, you're hoping Freeland goes like 6 1/3 or something like that, or as far, but that's a line. And what I love, and I think about Kyle Freeland being on the mound, and this is something that's going to have to translate into the new defense behind them, is he gets double plays. I swear, Kyle Freeland is very, very good at getting the double play ball when he needs a double play ball. He's someone that can be super effective at getting those ground ball outs. That's why this new look infield, especially led by a new shortstop, not necessarily led, quote unquote, but with a huge new piece in the shortstop, they got to be efficient at turning double plays, because I do believe that is something that Freeland is good at doing. He's seen a lot of success. I think he was able to get 2 or 3 double plays in some pretty big situations in that spring training game on Friday. So the 2022 starter for the Colorado Rockies going up against this new look Dodgers. Honestly, it's a big stage for Kyle. And I want to talk about why that's important that Kyle Freeland is stepping up for that big stage. But before I do that, I got to tell you about our friends at BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs in sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, including this week's Masters Championship odds, podcasts, and reviews for all the different leagues this season. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. And if you want to learn more about the trends and actions and maybe get in on some Rockies betting and things like that, we've now had 2 podcasts where we have gone through BetOnline's futures for the Colorado Rockies, and you can jump in there and listen to those podcasts and get my tips on what the Rockies future lines look like and what I would do if I was putting some money on the line. But again, I'm not an expert. The people at BetOnline are the experts, and you can get all the information you need to make the best bets possible at betonline.net. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. Dipping into the live chat here, Devin says, I like Freeland as the opening day starter. Feels like he lost some confidence in himself, so hopefully this helps him. I would do anything to get Freeland's 2018 type season again. He was amazing that season and would help us so much. I like that you bring up, Devin, the confidence thing, because I think the Rockies have confidence in Kyle Freeland. I think the Rockies have confidence in getting a deal done with Kyle Freeland, because I don't think they would have made this move if they weren't confident that Kyle Freeland, the Colorado kid, is going to be the one to represent the Rockies to kind of kick the season off in front of the home crowd against the juggernaut Dodgers with the whole national stage looking at them. This is a huge stage for Kyle Freeland. And, really in reality, you'd think the easy choice would be start the season, go with German Marquez. You're going against the Dodgers, try to win this first series at home and steal an early season win from the Dodgers. Again, it's kind of crazy to think, but any opportunity you get the chance to steal early wins from the Dodgers, especially something like this early series where everyone's kind of figuring things out, series wins against the Dodgers, don't matter when they happen, are still series wins against the Dodgers. And when you're the Rockies and you're Bud Black and you go up to Kyle Freeland and you say, you're starting our season, you are the one going up against what some people think is the greatest team put together on paper. I think that's the Rockies saying, we have confidence in you, Kyle. We have confidence in your abilities. We have confidence in who you are. We have confidence in your skill set to go out and take on this team. Again, we'll see what the result is, but I think this is a big moment for the Rockies to say, hey, we believe in you. We couldn't get a deal done. We didn't do arbitration. There was all this other stuff that kind of happened throughout with contracts. Everyone else is getting extended, and Kyle Freeland wasn't there. But I think this is the moment the Rockies are saying, hey, let's shine. Let's let you shine. We want you to shine. We are bringing you the chance to be the guy. I think Kyle Freeland is going to take advantage of that. I think that this is something that Kyle Freeland needs. This is something that Kyle Freeland has kind of been waiting for, because I think he's kind of just sat into that middle of the rotation role. The hype of Kyle Freeland kind of died down a little bit after the Cy Young season, into the tough season, into the pandemic shortened season, into all of the other hullabaloo that the Rockies have been involved in over the past 3 off seasons. This is the Rockies coming out and saying, Kyle, this is your moment. Start the season right. You are our guy. And I think that's a good plan. Kyle Freeland is a type of guy that I believe would thrive with this type of challenge. Especially when again, and it could have just turned out to be the way the schedule worked out. It could have just been how the spring training rotation panned out. However, it's opening day at Coors against the Rockies, or against the Dodgers. Does it get much bigger for the kid from Colorado? I mean, obviously in terms of World Series, yes. But for a special opportunity for the organization to again give you another chance on one of the biggest stages in baseball. We can't deny that opening day isn't one of the most watched days of baseball. I think this is a move that both parties are seeing, that both parties, both Kyle Freeland and the Rockies, are discussing and showing their mutual respect for each other. They weren't able to do the business side yet. Freeland wants to focus on pitching. All right, Freeland, you know what? Go out and pitch. Go out and take down those Dodgers. Go out and see. Let's see what you can do. Let's get you back to that confidence. And I think turning to Kyle Freeland and telling him that you're confident in him to start your season off is going to be a way that to help that mental game, to help him get back to that 2018 Kyle Freeland. Is he going to get exactly back to 2018? I'm not, that would be wonderful. That would be incredible. I just want to see Kyle Freeland take a step forward this year instead of a whole season of us kind of wondering, is he going to move forward? Oh, that was a great start. Then the controls off that next start. The Rockies need Kyle Freeland to step it up, but I think this opening day starting move is the Rockies saying, we have confidence in Kyle Freeland stepping up. And I have confidence in Kyle Freeland stepping up. I think the Rockies are going to be someone, I think the Rockies are going to, again, be closer to that path where things start going together if Kyle Freeland is a strong contributor to this team. It can't just be Kyle Freeland. There's other arms that have to do that. Austin Gomber's on that list for sure. The first four arms in the rotation have to be good this year. They cannot be fine. They have to be good. I would say we've seen a lot of fine from Kyle Freeland over the past couple of years, but I need the Rockies to get on that path that we've talked about, where everything needs to start going right and taking advantage of opportunities. Kyle Freeland and the starting rotation all being good is that baseline. It has to be there. The Rockies' success is going to come down to a lot of factors, but I think two main ones: how this new look offense performs and the starting pitching. The starting pitching has to be strong, has to be a better. They have to be that foundation still, and they can't let up. They have to remind people that they are one of the bigger strengths of this team, and we've seen it, but it's still going to be tough to get there. Kyle Freeland, instrumental in that foundation, instrumental in getting to and to being one of those pivotal pieces, into being part of a good rotation. A good rotation is good for the Rockies, and the Rockies making Kyle Freeland the opening day starter and showing that they have the confidence in him. That's the right type of move to get the season off on the right start for a player like Kyle Freeland, who really needs to be a key part of this Rockies team in 2022. Well, let's take some live chat questions and just kind of wrap things up, because I think I got a little lost on the path right there. I just wanted to kind of bring my thoughts back together and turn the car around, park it, and close my Kyle Freeland thoughts for the day. But first, before we do that, let me tell you about our friends at Built Bar. Built Bar is the go-to bar for you if you're looking to replace that candy bar in your life. Getting, if you want to change up the snacking habits, if you're looking for something that's still going to hit that sweet tooth a little bit, but not going to be as harmful as, say, an average candy bar with 240 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and dozens of net carbs, Built Bars are the thing for you. They are delicious protein bars covered in 100% real chocolate, and most Built Bars contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. You can see the macro charts for yourself. You can see it all at Built.com. And when you head to Built.com, I got a great deal for you, but when you're there, you're going to see that there are so many different options for you. There's the Built Bar Puffs, the first ever protein bar, protein-infused marshmallow. There's other supplements and other great things, but the best part about going to Built.com is seeing the wide variety of flavors of Built Bars available for you. Head to Built.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 and you're going to get 15% off your order. That's promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com. Go get 15% off at Built.com today when you use the promo code LOCKED15. All righty. Going into the live chat. And boy, if that is a name that I recognize, and I hope it is the one from my baseball playing days in the chat, my friend Michael Disney there. Love how the Rockies rotation has developed over the last season, couple of seasons. Hopefully I'm assuming there's more coming about the bullpen. Hopefully the bullpen is better. Yes, the bullpen has to be better. That is going to be a key thing. I think I was listening to when I was listening to the Mariners broadcast on Friday when I was running the game. I think the Rockies had 30 blown saves last year. I think is what the stat that they use, something like that. And it makes sense when you think about it and you remember, but it's just like, holy smokes. How many times have we talked in the offseason? How many times did we talk about if the Rockies just won 10 more games, what that would have meant for the narrative around the team and the playoff implications of last season? Let's see. Abel Vargas says, who finishes with the better record, Cubs or Rockies? Let's go Rocks. I think the easier answer is to say the Cubs because the division isn't as hard. But again, the Rockies are in a much more interesting place than the Cubs, I think, in terms of the Rockies didn't fire sale everything. I know they lost a lot of stuff, but they have kept a ton of their core. I mean, you do lose Story, you lose Gray, and of course you lose Arenado. Everyone kind of thinks that that's the Rockies team, but that's when people who haven't watched the Rockies have had Charlie Blackmon for a while. They've had this rotation. They've had Ryan McMahon. Brendan Rodgers has been talked about for years as being the next second baseman. The outfield has always had a ton of names and a ton of fine players and pieces. So I just think the Cubs might benefit from not being in the NL West in terms of record this year. But I think if you were to say head to head, I'm taking the Rockies over the Cubs in terms of performance. But overall record, over 162 games this season. I just don't know if the again, I want to be confident and happy about the Rockies and look forward for the Rockies, but I just the team has to play. Again, this is a team that finished fourth in division. This is a team that we need to see on the field before I get too ahead of myself. But when I think about a team like the Cubs, I do think the Rockies have some more interesting opportunities. However, that Suzuki guy could be pretty amazing. Do the Rockies win the opener? It does have classic Rockies winning the game against the Dodgers, and we'll be excited. I'm going to say, yeah, you know what? I mean, let's lean into the Homer thing. Let's lean into Kyle Freeland stepping up there. And let's say that if Kyle Freeland goes up there and has a good Kyle Freeland day, the Rockies could very much find themselves in a position to win that home opener. They have the benefit of playing at home. They are a better team at home. The Dodgers are a new look team. They do have a bunch of new pieces, and as much as they've been working through the spring, it's kind of that early season baseball type of stuff. So yeah, you know what? Let's go with Rockies winning the opener. I really hope it's not because I really don't want the opener to start on a tough stretch. Who do I think the Rockies will call up first from the farm system? That's a good question. It's going to be one of the arms that didn't make the cut towards the end. I would say you're going to see Lawrence come up probably pretty soon, depending on how the Rockies bullpen does. You're going to see an arm come up before you're going to see any of these position players. But it was nice to see on Friday, or listen, I guess, as I was listening to the game, as I've mentioned a few times now, that a lot of the young guys were getting there. And of course, we had a really great spring from a lot of players. But I would say most likely who you see called up first would be like a Lawrence or something like that. But speaking of some minors, Tovar wins. Is it Tovar? Is Ezekiel Tovar? Tovar is leaving Rockies camp with the Abby Greer Award, again going back to Thomas Harding here. But he left the Rockies with something more lasting, a strong impression. The Rockies' number 6 prospect, according to MLB Pipeline, showed impact defense in /287, 322, 475 at single A and high A last season. The Rockies played him in instructional ball and sent him to the Arizona Fall League to challenge him against stronger pitching. Feeling he needed to be stronger, he showed up 7 pounds more muscular with the same movement. The difference showed offensively going into Friday night's game. So Tavar was hitting 550, 11 for 20 with 3 home runs and 1.650 OPS and 2 steals. And he is going to be probably heading to Double A Hartford. Going to be someone to watch. Going to be someone to watch. But like I said, I think the Rockies are more likely to get their arms up, their position players a little further away and calling up. Devin, do I plan on going to any games this year? Yes. I would love to get to Denver as much as possible, as much as I can. If it happens multiple times in the season, that's even better. But I will be at Coors Field at some point this year, 100%. I wanted to go, but obviously with the pandemic and everything last year and with everything still being up in the air this year, for sure, I got to go. I got to go get me some Big Bill's pizza as well. I got to go back home. I don't get to go home enough. I'm also rocking one of my favorite burger spots in Colorado today, my Park Burger shirt. Yeah, so should the Rockies have their own regional network? It's going to be interesting, the future of streaming stuff and going to see what happens in terms of how baseball is streaming games. They can't keep these blackouts and everything up forever. I think you're going to see teams having their own specific stuff, maybe even divisions. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get cut up that much. Eric Hosmer to the Rockies. I don't think so. I highly doubt the Rockies would do something like that. I don't. He's still on the team, right? He's still on the Padres as of now, isn't he? But he is. The Rockies love CJ Cron, and if the Rockies aren't playing CJ Cron at first base, they will use Connor Joe or Chris Bryant. The Rockies have too many options, and they with first base, I just don't see. I know Hosmer has a record of hitting well in Colorado, but I think the Rockies have made their move and are perfectly set at first base with the 3 options technically that they have. Folks, we're going to wind things down. Devin, you did say you nailed it on the head there in the live chat though. Blackouts are bad for baseball. Terrible. Blackouts are bad for sports in general. It's just embrace the streaming world. Let's figure this out. I should be able to watch any team anywhere and be able to help everyone kind of get a little bit benefit. I know how hard it is to work, but being someone who works in media, I know that if there's a will, there's a way, and if there's money, there's a way too, and there's definitely money there. But folks, Kyle Freeland, I guess I never landed the plane or parked the car as I mentioned. At the end of the day, I think the Rockies turning to Kyle Freeland and saying you are our opening day starter is the sign of confidence the Rockies are needed to show Kyle Freeland because of not only boosting his confidence for kind of an inconsistent last couple of seasons, but also a boost of confidence in the belief of the organization and his skills, considering where they're at in terms of contract negotiations and where Kyle Freeland's standing on that side is with the Rockies. But Kyle Freeland will take the bump against the new look Los Angeles Dodgers with the new look Rockies. A really, really exciting day of baseball on Friday coming up. Not only is it opening day, but it's a brand new era of Rockies baseball, and Kyle Freeland is leading the charge, and I'm happy for it. I think this is the right move, and we are hoping for tons of fun this opening weekend. We are going to be bringing you the division roundtable tomorrow. All of us got together and started breaking down some things in the division. Unfortunately, we recorded it before a couple of these big trades happened, so some of the stuff might we'll need to update a little bit, but it's a good insight into what is going on in terms of the division in the National League West with all of your National League West Locked On hosts. But thank you for making Locked On Rockies your first listen of the day. For your second listen of the day, go make Locked On MLB Prospects or Locked On MLB Podcast your second listen, and you can learn about all the prospects in baseball or history, both past, present, and future from the Locked On MLB Podcast, both hosted by 2 wonderful hosts, Lindsey Crosby there for Locked On MLB Prospects and Sully over there on Locked On MLB. Shout outs to my live chat today. We had lots of great questions in there. They've been great. Join in on the live chat when we record the podcast somewhere between the 9 to 10 o'clock Mountain Time every morning range for your podcast. Probably going to be the flow for the season as well, with your instant short breakdowns coming after games this season, because we'll be beefing it up. You'll be seeing this face a whole lot more if you subscribe to that YouTube channel and follow on Twitter at LO Rockies. I'm at Paul Holden 33. Go and check out all the great stuff that we're doing on the YouTube channel. Follow us there and stay up to date with all things Colorado sports by following the Locked On Avalanche, Nuggets, and Broncos podcasts as well. Pretty wild time in Colorado sports, so why not stay up to date with all things in the four major men's sports and seeing all the good stuff going on there with the Colorado sports world. Opening day's Friday. Kyle Freeland on the bump. Have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies